Hey everyone, and welcome to the Now podcast. I'm Sophie.
And I'm James, and we are diving deep into the final thrilling season of Squid Game.
Get ready to unpack all the twists, theories, and surprises as we explore what's coming in season 3.
Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our insights. Let's get started.
Okay, so what happens when, a rebellion totally fails, but that spark, that will to fight back, it's still there, you know?
Yeah, that's really the core question, isn't it? Especially heading into the final season of Squid Game. I mean, this show wasn't just big, it was a phenomenon.
Phenomenon feels right. Seasons 1 and 2 just completely smashed records everywhere.
Or absolutely.
Yeah.
Topping charts in, 92 countries?
Yeah.
And season 2, I remember seeing the numbers like 68 million views just in the first week.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it jumped to 126.2 million in just 11 days. It's nuts. It's sitting at number 2 for non-English shows on Netflix overall, with 192 million views.
Only behind season 1 itself, which is wild. That had 265 million.
Makes you really think, what was it about this particular story that just clicked with so many people worldwide?
Exactly. And that's kind of our mission today, right? We're going to do a deep dive into everything that's out there about season 3, the final season.
Right. We've been looking at, trailers, news articles, bits from director interviews, trying to piece together what's coming.
The goal is really to give you the clearest possible picture of how Gi-hun's story wraps up, because this is it for him.
Yeah, the end of his arc. And we're pulling from all sorts of places, trailer breakdowns from, IMDb, Digital Spy, Screen Rant, director comments via Entertainment Tonight.
News reports, too, from Variety, Fandom Wire, The Wrap.
Winter is coming, The Playlist, Netflix Life, even fan theories bubbling up on Reddit, trying to get that full picture.
Okay, let's jump right in. The big news everyone wants, the premiere date.
Yes.
Squid Game Season 3. It lands exclusively on Netflix, June 27th, 2025.
Mark your calendars. The wait is almost over.
And that tagline they're using, it's time to play one last time.
Simple, but man, it feels heavy, doesn't it?
Totally. It's not just another game. It feels final. This is Gi-hun's last shot.
Yeah, maybe his last shot at the games, or maybe his last shot at changing the whole damn system. Makes you wonder what one last time really implies for the ending. Survival, or something bigger.
It really does. And we know Season 3 kicks off right after Season 2's ending, which was pretty brutal.
Brutal is the word. Gi-hun's plan to expose the games from the inside, well, it crashed and burned.
And his friend Jing-bae, losing him like that, killed by the front man, just awful.
Yeah, and the director, Swang Dong-hyuk, he actually hinted that this failure pushes Gi-hun into a drastically different state.
Drastically different. How so, do you think?
Well, probably dealing with that defeat,
Yeah.
the frustration. But maybe it feels something else, a different kind of determination. Maybe he's not alone this time. Perhaps he finds allies, an organization even.
Interesting. Meanwhile, we've got the front man back in charge, the guy we first knew as Player 001, the old man.
Right, still overseeing the games. And I think a lot of people, myself included, are really hoping we finally get more of his story.
Yeah.
How did he end up like that? What's his journey?
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk new games. The trailer teased some stuff. That giant gumball machine.
Oh, yeah. Dispensing red and blue balls? What's that about?
Theories are flying, right? Could be team assignments, red versus blue.
Or maybe it determines your fate right there. Like, red you play, blue you don't. It adds this huge element of chance, maybe even more than before. Less about skill, more about just luck of the draw.
Which kind of underlines how arbitrary the whole thing is for the players.
Exactly. And did you notice the entrance hall? Shaped like a knife.
Yeah, that can't be good. It feels like a hint towards something really visceral. Weapons, maybe? A straight-up fight-to-the-death round?
Definitely feels like they're cranking up the intensity dial for the final season, which I guess we should expect.
And then right at the end of the trailer, that sound, a baby crying.
Chilling, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The big theory buzzing around is that it's connected to player 222, Ginny.
That she might actually give birth inside the game.
That's the idea. And, wow, talk about raising the stakes. A baby in that environment.
Yeah.
It forces you to confront basic humanity, doesn't it? Is it hope? A new cycle? Or just maximum emotional leverage?
Heavy stuff. Speaking of things people have strong feelings about, the VIPs.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
They're back.
Confirmed. The director even teased it, saying something like, they're coming, they're on the way, their chopper is flying over the island now.
Which is interesting because, let's be honest, the fan reaction to the VIPs in Season 1 wasn't exactly positive.
Understatement of the year, they felt pretty one-dimensional, didn't they?
Yeah, kind of cartoonish villains. So their return is a bit of a question mark. Will they just be watching again?
Yeah.
Or will they be more involved? Maybe even more sinister?
Maybe the director's tweaking their role based on that feedback. Could they face consequences this time? Or affect the games more directly?
Could be. It's something to watch. Oh, and remember the end of season 2, the mid-credits scene.
Vaguely. Remind me.
It introduced a new doll, Gi-hun, looked like a potential replacement or partner for the original red light, green light doll.
Oh, right. The creepy giant girl doll.
Exactly. And there's this cool theory that Gi-hun might be designed specifically to counter Gi-hun's strategy from the first time.
You mean how he figured out he could hide behind other players?
Yeah. Like maybe Gi-hun has better sensors or different rules to stop that specific tactic. It shows the game makers are learning too, adapting.
Making it even harder. Constant evolution. That keeps it terrifying.
Definitely. And speaking of new dynamics, the trailer also hinted at a possible mother-son pair among the players. Young-sik, player 007, and Gi-hun, player 149.
Oh, wow. That immediately makes you think of Gi-hun and his mom in season 1, doesn't it?
Exactly. The potential for tragedy there feels almost intentional, like an echo, highlighting those personal stakes again.
So many threads coming together. And we still have Detective Wang Jin-ho out there.
Right. His investigation is technically still live. And he still doesn't know the full story about his brother, the frontman, or the possible police corruption angle with Captain Park.
Plus, other returning faces glimpsed Noel, the guard.
Gar 011, yeah. And Jun-hee, player 222, who we mentioned with the baby theory. Young-sik, the potential son, plays 007. And Honju, player 120.
What about player 246, Gyeong-sik? His fate seemed uncertain.
Yeah, that's a bit murky. But there are some interesting fan theories, especially on Reddit, suggesting No-il might have actually spared him in the season 2 finale.
Really? Like intentionally let him live?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And that she might even help him or influence things in season 3. It raises questions about loyalties among the guards themselves, you know. Not everyone might be fully committed to the cause.
Fascinating. But amidst all these players and plots, Gi-hun's main goal, it hasn't changed, has it?
Nope. Still laser focused on bringing the whole game down from the inside, despite everything. The failures, the losses, that core drive is still there.
Which brings us to the big one. The confrontation we all know has to happen.
Gi-hun versus the frontman.
It feels inevitable, doesn't it? Season 3 has to build to that. Their ideologies, their history. It's the emotional core, really.
Absolutely, that's the showdown. Also, there's talk about the number of episodes this season.
Oh yeah, fewer.
Seems like it. The rumors, and nothing's official yet, but reports suggest maybe around 6 episodes, which is less than before.
6 episodes. That could mean a really tight, fast-paced ending. No filler.
Could be very intense. And, you know, while this is definitely the end for Gi-hun's specific story,
it might not be the absolute end of the Squid Game world.
Exactly. There's loads of speculation about spin-offs, maybe prequels, exploring how the game started, or if there are similar games happening elsewhere in the world.
Which lines up with some fan theories, right? That the Korean game is just one part of a bigger global network.
Yeah, opens up a lot of possibilities for the franchise down the line if they want to go there.
Before we wrap up, it's probably worth touching on what the director himself has said about the themes.
Oh, for sure. Hwang Dong-hook has talked quite a bit about what he sees as the central ideas.
Like the big questions the show asks.
Yeah, like, is there still hope for humanity? What's the state of human nature in our world today? And clearly, those questions hit a nerve globally.
You can say that again.
He also mentioned something really interesting, the Korean concept of Hiraeth.
Hiraeth, how do you spell that?
Hiraeth. It's apparently this deep, intense longing for a home or a past you can't return to. A kind of profound sense of loss.
Wow.
And he feels that's woven into a lot of Korean storytelling, including Squid Game. That, plus the show's huge emotional range from, like, brutal violence to these moments of unexpected connection might be key to why it resonates so deeply.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay, so quick recap of the main takeaways as we head towards the final season.
Let's see it.
We've got the date, June 27th, 2025, on Netflix.
Check. Gi-hun's back for one last major attempt to stop the games and face the frontman.
Expect new, probably terrifying games. The gumball machine, the knife room.
Yep. Familiar faces returning Jun-ho, potentially some guards with shifting loyalties, other players, and new ones like the possible mother-son duo.
All leading up to that final Gi-hun versus frontman clash.
And maybe fewer episodes, making it a really focused finale. Plus, the door might be open for future stories in this universe.
And underlying it all, those big themes the director keeps pointing to: hope, human nature, that sense of Hiraeth.
It's a lot to look forward to, and frankly, to be a little nervous about.
No kidding. So here's something to chew on as you wait for June 2025. As Gi-hun goes into these final games, what do you actually think it takes, like really takes, to break a system built on that much despair?
Yeah, and maybe, what does the fact that this show became such a global obsession say about us, about our own world right now?
Well, that gives us a lot to think about regarding Squid Game Season 3.
We touched on everything from the release date to some of the wild things we're seeing in the trailers and hearing.
Thanks a bunch for hanging out with us on the Now podcast. We're really interested to know what you'd like us to dive into next time.
Catch you in the next one.